Thornbridge Manor, the Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Welcome to England. Having just been in Dubai, with all that new money on display, the gold and the flash, and the perhaps unpersonal, we move into the inherited wealth and the established upper class of the old. We are in a rural, ancestral mansion in England where a family gathering is taking place, and a tragedy just happened. This mission is about taking out the last target of Providence, Alexa Carlisle, and what better place to do it but here, in her very own home where it all started. This mission is about infiltrating the lair of the lioness, getting close and knowing your target. It is the ultimate home invasion. We wanted the tone of the mission to evoke an ominous feeling and a sense of mystery. We wanted a mission that would tell very personal stories and unveil inner secrets. It should be a residence filled with surprises, and while playing it, the player should slowly unfold a story about the fall of a family empire, all the while seeing the vulnerable side of an Iron Lady. Of course, we did not miss the chance to add quirky family members and the special egos that you would expect in a place like this. In order to really drive home the sense of mystery, elevate the general mood, and to give a twist to the gameplay, we decided to add a whodunit in this mission. This would then also allow us to get close to the family as well as the target, showing Alexa's vulnerable sides. Perhaps also to be exploited to the player's benefit. It is very hard to miss that the event in this mission is centered around a murder mystery. Here, we ask the player to play the role of a private investigator to solve a very recent death, a suicide that our target suspect is foul play. At first, we played around with giving away the PI disguise already outside, almost for free, just to let almost everyone experience it from the get-go, as there is so much gameplay in it. But ultimately, we decided not to, as that would rob the player from infiltrating the mansion themselves, which is a very core Hitman and fun thing to do. Instead, we teased the murder mystery very heavily in the beginning to try and catch the player's interest. When I played the murder mystery for the first time, in a very early state of course, I almost forgot that I was playing a Hitman game and was all in on solving the case. And that's what we hope that most players will do. The name of this mission is Death in the Family, and there is a lot of that in this mission. Alexa Carlisle is back from the dead, we have a suspect suicide of one of the house family members, and we have the death of an important character after. But there is more. There is someone in the mansion that is not done with the killing, and there's a legacy and history with the family that the players can learn about. The story is quite complex, and we suspect and hope that it will take our players quite a few sessions to figure out how everything connects. The same as mastering the gameplay and the level design.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous That appears to be a half-burned diary belonging to Zachary Carlyle. It says he and Madame Carlyle murdered their older brother 46 years ago, and that Mr. Fernsby helped them cover it up. He was planning to confess it all. Interesting.
You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. But he was such a gentleman.
I just need to check. That's a bit excessive, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen. We know what we're doing, so don't worry about that. Plays the strings of my heart with that piano. I can feel the hair on my neck stand. You and me both.
Hmm? Huh? What?
Hey, who is throwing stuff around here? Come on!
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London.
Yeah, keep it real.
The dead body of Zachary Carlyle, Alexa's little brother. I wonder what happened to him, 47.
Hello, sir.
You must have been in some incredibly dangerous situation.
No, you should probably.
So
A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Madame Carlyle's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. There's no family without secrets, 47. But this family seemed to outdo most.
I should get back to... Right, yeah.
So, how long have you been working?
About a month now.
What on earth are you doing in this shithole? Feel like you belong to the club, man.
An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlyle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle Empire instead of himself. Interesting.
Did the portrait
You're an
photographer
excellent
check out?
detective, 47.
Verified his identity.
Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
Ah, you must be Mr. Whitmer. Madame Carlyle has asked me to be of assistance to you. I trust you've had a good look around.
Sir,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Phineas Whitmer, private investigator.
Ah, Mr. Whitmer. Madame Carlyle has asked me to be of assistance to you. I trust you've had a look around. Are you ready to see the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir. Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here is the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. This is very useful information, 47. A quick glance, and I can see that you've already uncovered some relevant facts. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Guests will attend the funeral tomorrow.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
Getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, tram or stroller.
Yes, hi, Catherine. It's me again. Edward. I know I'm not supposed to leave you messages, and this is the last time, I promise. It's just,
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have...
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, gotta run. Yes, hi, Cassie. It's me again. Edward.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
I don't believe for a second Zachary committed suicide. We don't need to run around with streets.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled, 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective? Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Anything else?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there
anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
How tall are you? You could be a model, you know.
Right.
I'm serious. I have a friend who's a model. She says that's the sweet, sweet life. You should come and stay at my place in London. We can have her come over. Give you some tips.
I'm quite happy here, thanks.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary told himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
With a handsome face like that, I bet you've worked.
I
Maybe
actually-
we should get back to... Yeah.
I think just relax for a minute.
And that solicitor upstairs. Why do you think he's... And that solicitor upstairs. Why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are Mother's favorite kind of people.
Zachary was murdered, why else ask him to snoop around?
That American lawyer in the small office, did you check his travel documents?
So romantic to work.
So I
Mr.
think,
Ferns will
yeah.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
Don't be stupid.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Looking good today, sir.
I need to keep an eye out, you know, stay on top of things like that.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat, please. Go ahead.
Your niece, Emma Carlyle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
And your niece. Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlyle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost, marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlyle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlyles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father. All heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
I'll send you an invoice.
Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. I trust you'll see yourself out. I need some privacy. Thank you.
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Greetings, sir.
No. No, please. Whoa!
Take it easy, man. Oh, dear. Hey, who are you? No, no, no! Ah!
Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Hey, how are you?
How can you be so relaxed? I wish you'd take things more seriously.
Bell! This'll be good.
False alarm. Some idiot rang the bell by mistake.
Where's Mother? She called for a meeting, right?
She's not here, so false alarm.
I'd hoped for some news about what's going on.
No meeting. I really don't have time for this.
There's no meeting. It wasn't Alexa who rang the bell.
Your grandmother's not here, and she's the only one allowed to call family meetings. No idea who rang the bell.
How can you be so relaxed? I wish you'd take things more seriously.
What are you going on about now?
Who's had enough of these family meetings for one day? False alarm. Some idiot rang the bell by mistake.
This is torture. I need time to focus on the eulogy.
What a marvelous circus.